watching the night sky or a beautiful sunrise. There's so much they hold, and just like the old stars, I see that you've come so far to be right where you are. How bold is your soul? I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up, and when you're needing your space to do some navigating, I'll be here patiently waiting to see what you find. 'Cause even the stars, they burn. Some even come to the earth, and we've got a lot to learn, and God knows we're worth it. No, I won't give up. I don't want to be someone who walks away so easily. I'm here to stay and make the difference that I can make. Our differences, they do a lot to teach us how to use the tools and gifts we got. Yeah, we got a lot at stake. And in the end, you are my friend. And yes, we did intend for us to work. We didn't break, we didn't burn. We had to learn how to bend without our world caving in. I had to learn what I got and what I'm not and who I am. And I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up, still looking up. I won't give up on us. God knows I'm tough enough, and we've got a lot to learn, and God knows we're worth it. I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up.
Hello and welcome to our Sunday service meditation. In this meditation, we are going towards deeper peace, and we will also visualize a breakthrough and success. Now please get comfortable and just choose to relax for the following minutes. Breathing intently, being present in your heart space. Give yourself a few minutes to just relax and enjoy being present with yourself. being present with love itself. You can consciously choose to block off any distractions for a better experience. Remain present in your heart and allow an image to come up about a situation or a challenge that you are experiencing. Feel into this situation, this challenge, and identify that which doesn't feel good about it. Now, once identified, just choose healing to occur. Invite love and healing into this space. And visualize this situation from a new perspective. Visualize a high outcome, a beautiful and smooth experience for yourself and everyone involved. Notice how easy it feels and effortless. Memorize this new feeling and save that and ground all of this in your being. Take a deep breath, just relax in your body. Fully ground, and from that grounded and relaxed space, please enjoy the rest of our Sunday service.
Hello everyone, I am Kanisha and I will be doing today's card reading. I will be pulling from the Divine Abundance deck by Tasha Silver. I have pre-shuffled, so let's get started. Our first card is Extraordinary. There is a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. All right, so what this card brings up for me is that when you fully dive into the teachings of union and really claim your divinity and choose to heal all of the places where you have been choosing separation, you will really start to see how extraordinary life can be. And you will also see how extraordinary you are. You are made in God's perfect image. And so you have gifts and talents that are divinely given to you. And when you truly start to embrace who you are and you release any belief or any place where you're out of alignment with love, and when you're out of alignment with peace, you will find that as you move deeper into the work, all of those things where it felt like you just couldn't harmonize in this place, what's coming to me is like one place in your life is feeling good, but then somewhere else it feels like chaos. This is going to really help you bring just love and light and extraordinary things to each part of your life by harmonizing within yourself, by really coming to the truth of what you desire in each and every space in your life. Every place in your life can feel really good, can feel really peaceful, and can really start creating opportunities for you to be able to just expand into that space in your life. And so again, as you go deeper into this work, you will find that you were meant to have an extraordinary life. You're meant to have all the things that your heart desires because God put that in your heart. And so definitely claim that for yourself, and just remember that it's important that you honor all of who you are. And as you do that, you truly do harmonize with God. You harmonize with all of who you are, and that includes your twin flame as well. All right, your next card is Grounded. Many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity, and courage. So I think what's coming up for me is that when we start to do this work, we kind of feel, I wouldn't say outcast, but we feel different. We feel like we have this ongoing joke sometimes that like we have to go into the muggle world after we start doing our inner work and really starting to understand the true power that we have in creating our own reality. So as you ground this work, you'll find that you're just a regular person, but that you're now making choices from a place of love and a place of peace instead of a place of separation. And so you don't have to live two different lives. This is something that I've had to really work on within my journey, is not compartmentalizing and doing my twin flame work and my inner work here, but then trying to go out into the world and be as normal as possible. What is really important is that you ground and bring them together. They're meant to work together. You're meant to take what you've learned and bring it into the world, and to really allow yourself to relax into the work, allow it to become your natural way of being, allow it to become your lifestyle. And as you ground deeper into the work, you find that it's very easy and natural, because you will start to attract the people who are in alignment with you, and those that aren't, you will have you'll see them vibrate out of your life. And so it's actually very normal to bring this work into your life. It's encouraged. It's really what is the most important, is to be able to just make it just who you are. Really, again, just make it a lifestyle. And so when you find that you do that, it's easier to ground your work. It's easier to share it. And that's how you keep your progress, is by sharing the work that you've done and sharing what you've learned. And so as you allow yourself to fully ground into this way of being, this way of life, you'll find that, again, it's easy to harmonize this work with your regular life. I find that I now share a lot of this work with my friends and family, when before it was very uncomfortable. But the more I grounded into it, the more it was easier for me to share, because I had such a passion for it, and I could see how it really was changing every dynamic and relationship and situation in my life. And then you have non-duality. It says, let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. Yeah, that really just sums both these cards up, is really being able to see that they come together. They're meant to harmonize. And so sometimes it can feel uncomfortable going back out into the world after being in your inner world and doing the work and really creating the inner reality that you desire. And when you don't see it quite manifest out in the outer reality, it can feel a little discouraging. But that is where persistence comes in. That's where having faith in God and having faith in the process and the work. And I love that with and through this work, you see so many students who have continued to persist and continue to trust in it. And so many things have happened in their life. So many extraordinary events, so many happy moments have happened due to really grounding into this work and claiming just their truth through all of it and their divinity. And so continue to just keep moving forward. Know that you're fully supported. And that is today's reading.
Hello everyone, I'm Christy and welcome to today's Sunday service. And I have the privilege of introducing today's sermon by Jason and Chrissy about the topic of manifesting vibrational harmony in every area of your life. And it's a juicy topic, and at the core what Jeff and Shaleia teach is like this constant refinement to bring God and love and harmony to every area of your life, like to your twin flame union, to every relationship, to your body, your home, every little detail. And it's a constant eternal journey of refinement, and it's very juicy. It will never stop. It will just get better and better and more juicier. And especially like when I think back of my life before I had the teaching, it was the same, right? It was like I was stuck in my patterns. I was stuck in my workplace and the stress every day, for example, that was going on. And I was taking constantly from myself. That's kind of like what the world is teaching you, even that I remember saying that, so to speak, the devil is already home with God. I remember Jeff saying that. So it's just the system is still in place, right? Kind of that separation consciousness, like what the whole world is kind of like still believes in, right? Based on fear. But yeah, the devil is already like home. So there is no reason to hold on to it anymore, and it doesn't have any power in truth. And it's kind of like what I experienced in my old workplace, especially, right? It was based on fear, and it got worse and worse. That you were seen as a number, right? And that especially like also the managers and kind of the team leaders, they were trained to implement fear or to see like your co-worker as your opponent to work better, but they were not thinking long-term, because the more you stress yourself out and you feel kind of against each other, or oh my gosh, when I not do what they say, I will lose my workplace, more and more people got sick and they had to stay at home. And I feel like most of the world still like lives this way, right? Not in peace or joy or following your passion, but constantly taking from yourself. And that is what really like Jeff and Shaleia and the teachings of Union and the Church of Union is helping us to come out of like separation consciousness and taking from yourself, but loving yourself in all these places. And so you bring vibrational harmony to every area of your life. And what I, for example, experienced in my workplace is like my body, right, which is also an Ascension tool, was showing me constantly like red flags, right? My body got worse and worse, and I was spending a lot of money for health, like every month, just to function. And especially like my spine or my ribs, they were not staying in the place they should be, right? So I was not staying with God. I was not staying with my divine self the whole time. So my body could just reflect that and mirror that to me, where I was leaving myself constantly. And so my spine, my ribs, they were leaving that place constantly. And I'm still refining that more and more, right? And got aware of patterns and refinement with the teachings. For example, recently I found out, and my coach Chrissy also helped me with that, where I felt like feeling my feelings or feeling at peace. I related that with punishment. Because in childhood, for example, I got often, to be honest, for no reason, because there was kind of allowed abuse to happen, right? And I got locked in my room almost every day, like even without doing something. But of course, like I also manifested it in a way that I didn't know who I am. But I had then to sit there in my room and constantly thinking what I did wrong, or I should feel guilty. And so sitting with my feelings, there was like I was relating that to punishment. And also kind of like I know every one of us is kind of like taught by society or by our parents to constantly leave yourself, right? To not stay connected with yourself or at peace, but looking what is others expect from you and to please them. And so that were kind of like my core patterns where I constantly was leaving myself. And the mirror exercise helps you more and more to bring all these parts home, that you're allowed to stay with you and God and your twin flame the whole time within. And you don't have also to relate it with punishment, right? To sit with your feelings, but that's your home, right? And it's what helped me like the most, like also recently. And what I can share also, like how I manifested more and more vibrational harmony in my outer reality, especially. I was before the teaching very messy, to be honest. When I think back, like, oh my gosh, like I was living in the house of my grandma. And of course, like over the years, there were collected a lot of things, right? Like over centuries, so to speak. And I was constantly decluttering over the years and get rid of stuff and brought the house in order. And especially like since starting the teaching and doing the mirror exercise and watching the classes, like the more you bring order inside of yourself, you cannot allow anymore any disorder on the outside. It doesn't work anymore, right? You feel bad. And so, for example, the furniture started to get more light, where there were before like dark furnitures in the room. And no, I wanted lightness. And that's kind of the whole journey. The more you love yourself, you will feel more like God's child, right? Really like playful, lighthearted, without any burdens like of the past or that you were carrying on from other people. Because often when you are not able to set boundaries, because often nobody taught you before how to do it, or that you're allowed to love yourself and to put yourself first, you were automatically taking on the burdens or patterns of other people, right? Because you were allowing their patterns to happen. And so they never had to take responsibility like for their actions or their patterns. And so you're taking it on. But the more you love yourself and you learn to set boundaries, the lighter you feel, right? You let go of all the burdens. And it's such a beautiful journey. And it's really meant your whole life to feel like playful every day. That no matter what you do, right, you are working or you're living your life purpose, but that it's kind of a constant joy, right, pleasure, that you enjoy living every day. And you know, like in the morning, why you're standing up, why you're doing it. And so I want to invite you like to check out our website, unionism.org, where you also find like all our previous sermons and where you can donate or tithe if you want, so that everybody will be able, who is like desires that in their heart, to learn how to manifest vibrational harmony in their life. And I'm also very passionate about helping others who are ready, like as an Ascension coach and as a map practitioner, to help them to bring peace and in order in their life and to love themselves. And I also love, for example, to see like clients when they're could leave their workplace, like me too, right? My unhealthy workplace, and how they could suddenly move on. And the next workplace that they manifested was so much more peaceful and so much more supportive, and from the directors of the school, for example, or like co-workers, where you're like appreciated, and everything what you heal, you will see the reflection on the outside more and more. And it's priceless. You cannot pay that with money and truth, right? Like the classes you invest into your future self and into your twin flame union. You cannot pay that with money to suddenly end suffering and bring like this beautiful harmony in your life. It's nobody is teaching you like this way to you, and it's a constant journey of improvement, and it's so juicy. And now I invite you to enjoy the sermon by Jason and Chrissy, and see you later again.
Welcome everyone to Church Communion Sunday service.
Hi, everyone.
We're Jason and Chrissy, Twin Flames in Harmonious Union. We are your executive ministers for the service today. Let us start with our opening ohms, followed by our opening prayer.
Yeah, so if everyone just wants to take a very deep breath in and join us out loud or in your heart.
I am the only child of God, forever part of Him. I am created by Him in perfection, and there I always remain. My mind is my sanctuary, where I keep His holy creation sacred. I will only allow in His voice. I will only accept His word. Today, I will hear the word of God. I surrender myself to His teachings through His divine channel. I will honor what He has spoken and accept it as His will. I will be obedient to His word, for this is my salvation. In Christ's name, Amen. So, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so today we want to talk to you about manifesting vibrational harmony in your life in all areas, and doing that by embracing the blocks in your life, realizing that TFAS supports us in making it easy to grow, right? Not that it makes it easy, but it's making it easy to grow by looking at the blocks and healing them.
Yeah, like the challenge is the challenge, right? You don't heal to make the healing doesn't diminish the challenge, I guess, right? Like it builds up your resiliency and confidence and
Self-esteem
and to work through the challenge, because the challenge is just sitting there like come get me, and like it's your job to move through the challenge, whatever it may be, knowing that like you're fully supported in moving through the challenge.
Right. I think a lot of people, and what I experience and see, in the community, is somebody hits a block and then they just sit there. They sit in the block. And sometimes you do have to sit in your blocks, but we sit there so we can feel the block and move through it, not get lost in it. Right. And so what that means is that you have the tools, the mirror exercise, to move through whatever block is presented to you, regardless of what's going on, regardless if it's whatever's happening is going your way or going to plan. You have the ability to move through it and claim your peace. right? An example of this for us, again, like what we're moving through right now in our life and what we're sharing with you is our transition as we move away from the military and into deeper purpose work with the church. And something that I realized as I was moving through things is that, you know, nothing was going to plan. Like absolutely nothing was going as planned. And I had an option. I could get really upset. I could feel I was wronged. I could complain and get frustrated and sit in all of this energy that didn't serve me. Or I could move through it, claim my peace, and choose to persevere, choose to persist, choose to identify that I'm closer today than I was yesterday, and I have a plan for the next step. And I just need to move into the next step, whatever that is, and execute that plan and see what happens. Something in the Army that we were taught, and this was actually discussed in my purpose classes, that your plan is never going to succeed first contact. The plan is always going to most likely not go as planned. Whatever happens isn't going to go as planned. Like this is pretty common, right? Mm-hmm. But the reason we plan is so that in the event when you begin to execute the plan, you have everything you need to shift based on what's actually going on in the relationship. You have the opportunity to shift to the left or to the right or to make a new choice based on what you know because you did the planning in order to get to the goal, right? So you can't have a plan in place and then you have relationships and all these people and all of their different things coming into play, and then you just move forward with the plan without acknowledging the other individuals in the room or the relationships in the room or what's going on that's affecting your actual plan, right? That's control. You have to go with the flow. And so when the flow is pointing you to something that needs to be addressed, that there's a relationship involved, that relationship has to be looked at and things have to be maneuvered in order to continue to move forward.
Yeah, like something that we had come up against recently is Chrissy had, I don't know, about 20 years or so of equipment to turn in prior to retiring. And normally, I believe, right, you can't turn it in until after like a certain point or something like that. Right?
Yeah, you have to have orders.
Right, and you were trying to turn it in earlier than that so that you don't have to come back here.
Yeah, which we got approval for, so I wasn't,
right. But, you know, going through this process, we had to go probably about an hour drive to the military base and turn all this stuff in, right?
Yeah.
All of the, you know, the website, all of the signage, everything just says, yeah, stop on by. You hand it in and you're on your way, right?
So walk-in basis.
Yeah, so like we go there.
They're closed.
They're closed. They don't advertise they're closed. They don't.
Nope.
No, it's said as far as you could go on the website, hours. They're still open.
Closed.
Right, and so that was, you know, that was like step one. We're like, okay, you know, we were a little bit like.
We went on a fact-finding mission.
That was a bit defeating. It was like, oh, we really want to turn this stuff in, and it's so far away, and like
it's a lot of stuff that we lug in the car and out of the car.
It's like, okay, you know, we got to put this into perspective and say that, okay, we'll just they're doing this. We'll come back next week.
Right.
We'll get it done. Then we'll get it done. We'll get it done. So we go back the next week. Just walk right in, and you could, you know, we'll take whatever you got.
Yeah.
You need an appointment. Right. So now 2 times we've gone to hand in all of this equipment.
Yep.
And we've lugged it. Now we're back and forth.
And you might think, because a logical person would ask, why don't you call? Right?
Why don't you call?
We do call. They don't answer the phones.
Right. So like nothing's really set up to support the soldier in having this done seamlessly, easily, efficiently. And so, but what did take place is that the first time we didn't have information that we got when we got there.
Yeah, we got information.
So we received information that was helpful. And then the second time we received more information
and we got an
that
appointment.
Was helpful and got an appointment.
That felt good.
And so the third time was the charm. And
now we're now 2, 4, 5 hours into this particular, and that's just driving time, right? So this is our third time there.
But
Yeah.
we got there the third time.
Mhm.
We got it done. We
On the
turned
way there,
everything
I
in.
have a piece on the way there.
Okay.
On the way there, Jay's driving, and I have all of these thoughts coming up. Like, what's going to happen this time? You know, there are all these intrusive thoughts I was moving through and feeling my feelings as we were going in the inner work. It was like, they're going to turn me away. They're going to tell me they can't take me. Somebody's going to be sick and not available to take my equipment. Like, I had all of these things coming up. At the core, I chose peace at my core, and I chose for it to be a peaceful and seamless transition. And an action. And like, I kept moving through all these things. I kept saying no to the intrusive thoughts. I kept saying like, I don't choose that. And I would visualize and imagine a very seamless like transaction with this facility. And I kept claiming that in my heart as we were moving, but we just didn't know what was going to happen. We had
That's interesting because
very
like,
little trust.
the whole time there, I had the intention that everything was going to go fine.
Oh yeah, like well, I remember us driving. We were almost
Like
there.
I didn't have any doubts that anything.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
What was going to happen?
Yeah, like I remember we were almost there, and Jay was like, "They're gonna take our stuff today. Like this is gonna happen." And I was like, "I choose it too." So we were in this choosing. Now, if you have intrusive thoughts or that's something you're moving through, I just want to let you know that we do work with a lot of people who are experiencing that in MAP at the Mind Alignment process through the Health and Wellness Program. So if that's something you would like some more help with, I highly recommend you check the links below for the Mind Alignment process resources.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like, so we got there, we turned everything in, and like each step kind of built onto, on itself to where we weren't going to give up. You know, if we had to come back the following week or the following week or the following week, like we would have done what we needed to do to turn in what we needed to turn in. And like that's like where you can't fail, is when you're willing to show up and do whatever's needed to be done without like with no questions asked. Like you're gonna succeed. There's nothing stopping you if like you show up every single time. There's no way that at some point you can't get a yes.
Yeah.
Or you can't like move forward or succeed.
And you have to move through all of those feelings that you're having. You have to sit with them and move through them and visualize your success. Visualization is so very important in regards to your success because your brain doesn't know the difference between what you're experiencing and what you're imagining. And so your imagination is so vitally important, and your thought process is so vitally important to your success. If you think negatively, if you're thinking tyrannically about yourself within, that you're going to experience something manifest on the outside that's in alignment with that, because that's what you're choosing and that's what you're thinking and that's what you're allowing to run in your mind. And so you really want to focus on your desires. Hold that peace in your heart and say no to anything that enters in your consciousness that isn't in alignment with love. Really ask yourself that. Where does this thought come from? Is this a thought of love, or is this a thought of a lie? Is this an illusion? Is this ego? And if so, you want to say no to that thought and let it go and visualize what you desire in that space. So I kept visualizing a very peaceful transition for us in this space during this visit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, sometimes you tend to see people that, it's never, this is never going to happen for me, or I can't do it, or anything that like kind of puts you down is not the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lie, and like you can let go of the lie and grab onto the truth.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so the next piece of this that we'd like to discuss is that applying the teachings of union is what creates the flow in your life, right? Your experiences aren't always going to be easy. Like TFAS doesn't necessarily mean it's all going to be easy for you. But what it does mean is that when you apply the teachings of union, you will experience an easy flow in your life. You will continue experiencing that flow, and your challenges will still arise, but as you embody the work and practice it on a day-to-day basis, you're going to continue to flow into your good. you're going to continue to move into a better and better relationship with life.
I remember, you have any challenges when you were in Jiva?
Couple. There's like whole classes dedicated to my shit.
In the very beginning, when normally if I would experience a challenge and I didn't know how to overcome it or work through it or whatever, it was easy to be like, okay, well, I guess, this ends here and I'll figure something else out, right? But like, we were taught to, you work through the emotions, you work through the feelings, and you change, and then your experience changes, right? And that's what kind of, once I came up to it, I recall the first few challenges and then worked through them. It was very empowering because I don't think that I had ever done it like that before, right? Like I either forced my way in somehow, or just completely gave up and went in a different direction.
Right, like the teachings of Union teach us to move through the challenges peacefully and with purpose, right? Like with the purpose of peace. And as I embodied the teachings and really tried them on, I realized I learned who I was. It was what you're talking about, like choosing to change. When you go deeper and deeper into loving yourself, loving God, loving yourself, you realize who you are. And as you do that, you realize what you want and also what you don't want. And you start to maybe think that, oh wait, I actually don't want this in my life. And you realize you might be having a false twin flame experience. Jason and I both did, all through Twin Flame Ascension School. And so when we learned who we were, that's when everything really changed for us. When our life truly started. And that's when we found each other and identified each other as true twin flames through Jeff and Shaleia and their work and support. And you can do that same thing through these teachings.
Yeah, and that in itself was a big challenge for us.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Learning that we were twin flames, and I think there's an idea that when you come into union or when you come into harmonious union, that like everything's like perfect, and
that's a good point.
like there's no there's no arguments, there's no nothing, like each twin flame does everything perfectly, and it's just this magical thing, right? But that's not really the case. There's arguments, and there's disagreements, and there's
100%.
I want to do things this way, I want to do things this way, and like all of that stuff has to be worked through. And
at the end of the day, it always feels like a miscommunication, right?
Sure.
Like we're just miscommunicating with one another. We're usually saying the same things. It's just a miscommunication.
Right. But we're still like having our own individual experience, right?
Absolutely.
So it's not just like, oh, we've come together and now we just behave perfectly according to like what either of us want, right? We're still individually having an experience, and we have to work through. We have to relate. It's a relationship that you work through the things the challenges that you're experiencing.
Well, that's the beauty of twin flames, right? Like you don't have to be in perfect union with God to have harmonious twin flame union and have your twin flame in your life. That's actually not true. Your harmonious twin flame union is your pathway to perfect union with God. And it is through moving through these challenges together and relating and ironing out and grinding out the areas in your consciousness together that result in perfect union. So I really invite you to reflect on what you think harmonious twin flame union is, and actually, really study what it truly is, because Jeff and Shaleia show us this through Twin Flame Ascension School, my purpose class, that, you're going to have arguments, that you're going to have upsets to move through, and that it's perfectly normal and it's okay. And it's part of the process of your ascension journey. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't end, right?
We've only strengthened our relationship in such a short amount of time. I think, from when we first got together to now, it's like completely
It really has
We've
grown and gotten
evolved it
stronger.
through working through the challenges together, right? Not
Right.
just one person doing it. Like we've had some difficult conversations and
Yep.
moved through the challenging things, and we're that much stronger together for it.
Right. There's something that's coming up for me that you said when you were working with a client earlier this week that was really profound in regards to how I love you and how you feel safe in going through these experiences because of how I love you and give you the space to do so. I can kind of do a quip, but essentially as the divine feminine in our union, I provide Jason a very safe space for him to be himself. Right. And it provides him the space to feel through his feelings and express himself freely. And through that, we can work through whatever arises because he feels safe in expressing himself.
Yeah. To add to it, as a man, I guess you're not really given the container to feel your feelings. You're not really encouraged to feel your feelings, other than say anger or sadness if it's applicable. But mostly anger is okay, and there's a select few emotions that you're allowed to express as a man. I think in
Jason
society
experienced in his upbringing in society.
experience.
That was his programming.
Yeah,
right?
and that's well, I see that largely.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in any other relationship that I've had, it wasn't encouraged for me to feel my feelings. It wasn't encouraged for me to express my emotions, and so they would just get bottled up. But Chrissy allows me to feel my feelings, to express my feelings, and that's was very foreign at first, but it's perfect. It's her way of loving me perfectly is to allowing me that space to be vulnerable, which allows me to be vulnerable, right? And feel my feelings and process my emotions, and that's a very loving thing.
Yeah. And
I do the same for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Of course you do. Yeah.
I just mean the door swings both ways.
Yeah.
It's not just
100%. I feel we talked about this in an earlier sermon, is that I feel so liberated in my twin flame union. I feel so safe and loved and cared for and supported. And that's all a reflection of me loving myself, and me doing the inner work. And I don't expect any of that from Jason. I just I receive it through him because I cultivate it within myself. Right?
Yeah.
A class that we were watching, I really liked this quip. This is a quip that we're going to end this sermon on, talk about it a little bit. And it's, at no point can you say, I've learned enough. I'm good with these results. Right? I got what I wanted. I'm good. I don't need to learn anything else. That doesn't happen on the Ascension journey. I'll stay right here. I feel comfortable. That really doesn't happen here. And this is why it's so important to continue to invest in the teachings and watch them and study them and take time with them on a daily basis and really, allow that in your heart, because you'll continue to thrive. You'll continue to find things to unpack as you do that. Do you have anything you want to
Yeah,
share?
I mean, it's I guess easy to say you don't want to change in certain ways, or there's a refusal to change, or maybe it's uncomfortable, but the journey itself is going to continue to push on you to do so. And I would say it's easier. It's a lot easier. It's more pleasant. It's a lot less of a bumpier ride to just surrender and move accordingly with the journey itself. You'll experience more joy that way. You'll experience just an overall easier journey if you're going with the flow of it, rather than like kind of being stubborn or, you know, not wanting to change in certain ways.
Yeah, or it's reverting back. So like this is something that was discussed in the class we were watching, but essentially like you apply the teachings or you apply the concept. We work on this a lot in MAP, Health and Wellness. Like you apply the good habit, the healthy habit, and you feel really good and you feel amazing and you're like, wow, like this is really changing things for me. I get this. And then before you know it, you revert to the old pattern and you're back doing the same thing again and you're not applying it. Like that's quite insane to get the thing and then say, okay, I'm going to revert back to my old behavior now. Now that I've gotten the thing and it feels really, I'm going to revert back to my old behavior, right? Then you don't get the thing anymore. You don't maintain it. You lose the thing that you had. And so it's really important to persist in the new vibrational set point and to creating harmony in that new vibration. You create harmony in the new vibration by consistently choosing it and maintaining it in your life through persistence, right? Through actively and consciously applying the vibrational set point that you desire or you're moving towards and letting go of the old. You've got to let go of old relationships, of old patterns that no longer serve you. You can't have abundance in your life and be behaving in a way of poverty or you know, in different ways, which is the next sermon we're gonna about to do. But like, yeah, like you want to make sure that you keep growing, and you keep growing by continuing to study, by continuing to move forward, and not allowing yourself to get stuck in these blocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, any closing comments here?
Yeah, like, you know, there's no like rush. I think like, you know, people really do desire their twin flame. They, that's probably like the majority of what they think about is like being with their twin flame if they aren't already. And just remember that it's not like a rush. There's no like rush to be with them because you can't lose them, right? And like you just want to remember that like this journey is here to help you grow, and you get a lot of really cool stuff along the way, your twin flame being one of those things. Just so much as you like, you know, continue to walk the path and move forward on the path, and you know your success is imminent and it's guaranteed so long as you continue to heal along the way.
Amen. All right. So right now, please join us for our closing prayer and alms. Father, I accept your word into my heart. I will honor your will in my life and will follow you without hesitation anywhere you ask. I know you guide me into your heart where I belong. I accept that you are everywhere and your teaching is in all things. God, I know you provide me clarity in this teaching of union, that I may be forever in union with you. I accept that you are in me as you are in my brother. I will not deny my brother your word, and will share your teaching with him in any way you ask, and only as you ask. For when I share my salvation with him, I fully claim my salvation and return to you with him. In Christ's name, Amen.
Speaking this prayer in your heart means you have accepted that you are on the path of awakening to your true divine nature. This is what it means to be a unionist. Follow the teachings of union with God wherever you find them, and purify your consciousness into perfect union with your Creator.
Now, take a nice deep breath in, and please chant with us out loud or in your heart.
Oh.
Thank you all for watching today's Sunday service. Thank you to everyone that's contributed today for today's Sunday service. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the Church of Union YouTube, and so that you have up-to-date notifications on new services. And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, we'll see you if you are interested. We'll see you in tea time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you very much, Jason and Chrissy, for this beautiful sermon. And what I really loved about their sermon was like how they shared and encouraged all of us to be persistent, right? No matter what kind of challenges are coming up, to just work through the blocks. And at the same time, there is no rush on your journey, right? You can take like your own pace, but at the same time, by doing the mirror exercise, you smooth like automatically like forward, right? You bring vibrational harmony everywhere, and you get your next puzzle pieces on your journey. And I also know, like from my own journey, like the moment a challenge arises, God has a solution for the problem. And by working through that, and like what they showed, it strengthens you, right? You become more confident, and you believe more into yourself. You get this inner muscle, so to speak, and yeah, it's like you become your own hero on your journey, right? And so I really loved like how they encouraged all of us that because nothing worked out as planned, right? And to just never give up, because with the mirror exercise, you have a solution for every problem, and with God, right? And to bring like this teaching to everybody who is ready for and to improve their life and to bring harmony to all relationships and aspects in their life, I can just invite you to check out our unionism.org website, where you also find all the sermons, the previous sermons, and where you can donate or even tithe if you want to spread the message and the teaching, right? And I invite you also to subscribe and like our YouTube channel. And there not only you find the previous sermons, but also like after church tea time, what is like happening after the sermon right now, but also like discussions about politics and all juicy topics which are going on in the world, right? May it be like Black Lives Matters or LGBTQ, and what is also like actual like happening right in the world, and topics, and to join there, or like to let us know in the comments what you think about that, right? And really like you can see how we apply the teachings of union to our world and to improve it constantly. And I invite you now to join us in the after church tea time in the Unionism Spiritual Discussion Group on Facebook. And yeah, if you like share in the comments what you received from the sermon and how it's going in your life with manifesting harmony constantly. And I wish you all like a beautiful rest of the Sunday, and see you very soon. Take care and bye.